Hi guys, welcome to Stretty News TV. I don't know where to start. Apart from the fact that I'm gonna introduce the fact we've got two panelists on with me tonight. One is Steve, so that's gonna be entirely fun. Oh, just bear with me a second. I've just realised that the video was playing in the background, was going down my ears at the same time. But yeah, Steve's on with me tonight, and then Tom's going to join us when he gets home, which hopefully is not going to be too long. But yeah, I'm going to go off the manager subject. I'll leave that for a bit later. We're going to actually talk about the footballing side before we start getting onto the manager debate, because pretty much we know what that's going to be. We don't need to beat around the bush with that topic, and we're going to get those comments in on the side as well. So that's going to be great. So 2-1 against Norwich at home, just not good enough. And finally, Louis van Gaal's admitted it's not good enough. Like the past 6 performances have not been good enough. So, you know, at least he's got his fucking head out the sand to start with. And finally, possibly the penny's dropped for him. Possibly too late. Steve, let's go on performances of players yesterday, the team overall. First 20 minutes dominated. In actual fact, someone said to me in the first 20 minutes of that game, it looked like the Fulham game from Moyes' season all over again. Just ball after ball after ball going across the box. Just nobody on the end of it. And Fellaini was in there. And I don't mind Fellaini up top when you've got some, and you can do that. You can get crosses in. But you've got to find him. What's the point in him running to the front post if you're going to knock it towards the other corner flag? It was just ridiculous. And it happened throughout the match as well. Corners, just missing players. It's just, we got more frustrated with the fact that we couldn't actually get a ball in the box decently. And I'm saying this on the basis that Ryan Giggs, X amount of thousands of playing minutes at Old Trafford, superb winger, great cross of the ball. Surely he's got to be pulling some sort of strings and going, I'll take the crossing training. Because he's got to be looking at these crosses and going, what the fuck are you lot doing? Because there's just no fucking aim on them whatsoever. So yeah, that was my frustration with the first 20 minutes. Obviously then we know what happened before half time, and we just didn't pick ourselves back up, come out for the second half, and it was back to square one again until we bundled the ball back over the line. It wasn't even a decent goal. It was like watching Bournemouth again when fucking Fellaini got on his knees and somehow got the ball in the back of the net. I think it was divine intervention or something. Well, that was another scrappy goal. So, Steve, let's have you on. Tom's going to join us, but I'm going to get to Steve first. So, yeah, just give me your sort of thoughts on performance and the team rather than the manager for the moment.
Yeah, I like how you said we'll get onto Louis van Gaal. We'll go over the game first. The game will take 2 minutes, mate. If that.
Yeah, we could go on all night about the manager. I just wanted to.
I'll delay it 2 minutes. To be honest, I thought it follows the same pattern of most games under Van Gaal at United. Like you said, 20 minutes, United look on top because they get 70% possession. They look like they're doing well, when the reality is they're not. They're ordinary. They don't look a threat whatsoever. And I think the only thing that went against the grain is somebody scored at Old Trafford, and unlucky for us, it was Cameron Jerome, who United all game just fancied just making look like Ronaldinho in his peak. And it was the same with West Ham a couple of weeks ago. Mauro Zarate was running the show. It was only because he couldn't finish. We didn't lose 3-0. And fans were coming out after the game and saying, we created 17 chances and all this bollocks. It's the same old story. The only annoying thing yesterday was that we didn't pick up any points. We've lost to Norwich, who everyone knows are completely fucking awful. and they've made United look probably even worse, just ordinary. The goal, well, we'll get onto the goals in a minute, but like you say, I think it just set up exactly the same. As for the crossing, to be honest, mate, I think it comes to summit when Ashley Young's probably the best crosser that we've got at the club. And if you look at his statistics, that I'm not a big fan of, but even when you go and watch him in the game, I think his success rate's an absolute fucking joke. And like you say, he's one of the best at the club. No one frustrated me more than Nani. And I think I even joked on some of the shows last year. Why are we signing Memphis Depay? We've got Nani, you know what I mean? And I mean, Memphis is crossing, fucking hell. It's on Bebe and Obertan's level. That's, like I say, Antonio Valencia doesn't want to cross for some unknown reason. Young does, but he isn't very good. Nani was absolutely atrocious. It's been going on for years. And we'd like to think that Giggs would say, let me do this. Let me get these boys crossing in. So like you say, we can find Fellaini. We can find a threat we've got. Probably the only threat we have got, and we wonder why we're not going to finish fucking fourth. Because we're relying on an Everton footballer to fucking... That's our only outlet, because he doesn't want to use Anthony Martial. He's put him out fucking wide yesterday. Why? Because Captain Fantastic has to come fucking back in. Everyone else has to sit on the bench. Herrera, Schneidlin. I thought, oh, well, they're on the bench. They must be injured. And then I saw it's the Wayne Rooney starting again. And then when he put him up top, I thought, oh, my days. Oh, my days. He's putting him up top. And then Anthony Martial's out wide. For what reason? Honestly, and I don't want to sit here and go Van Gaal's this, Van Gaal's that, but some of the decisions he's making, and he's making himself look an even bigger cunt now, because we're losing to shit sides at home. Like you say, we haven't won in 6, and it could be 7 on Saturday to Stoke, fucking Stoke City. You know what I mean? I'm just losing my mind. We were saying before we come on, we were watching the game yesterday, and I was just slumped in my chair, and it was just Moyes. It was Everton away under Moyes. I was just sitting there. I'm not even surprised anymore, and that's it's almost sad. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Tom's got to come in. Tom's got to bring me up here.
Hey. Yeah, I back you with that. I mean, I know how you mean about the Moyes reference there, because it really felt like it was one of those games. I mean, people have talked about Mourinho, and he went through a few games at Chelsea, but they said like the Bournemouth game was like the game where it sort of all clicked and everyone thought, oh, like, this can't go on. And I mean, you heard the crowd at Old Trafford, and that reaction, it just felt like a turning point. And I don't know what Van Gaal can really do to get this back, because he's obviously not going to change his philosophy, and it doesn't look like the club are going to back him with any more signings of this, right? So I mean, they're going to have to, you know, it's, I don't really know what else to say, because they're just, it feels like a real turning point in the, you know, the short-term history of United at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely short-term, and I think...
Yeah.
And I've been put into pitch blackness. I love the things that go right on this thing. You just bear with me a second, guys. We'll make it festive and put the tree lights on. There we go. Bear with me a second, guys.
Hey, didn't you have passion a couple of weeks ago for not paying his electric bill?
I did an actual fact. That's not electricity bill, guys. That's just my timer going off.
You should have left that to the end and said, will the lights go out on Van Gaal, you know. You wasted it there.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, should have changed the title of the blooming show, shouldn't I? The lights go out on Van Gaal. But yeah, the whole Moisey thing. You just said it about their Everton, Steve, away under Moisey was an absolute. Well, it was basically, and I said this time and time again yesterday. People were waiting. United were waiting for that moment when he'd lost the amount of points that we needed to be in the top 4 for the Champions League, and then they could go. Right, there's the cut, because they've got a you know, a decision there that can be made, and you're not going to get any fire back of unfair dismissal. And this is a serious point now. United have either got to have put something in Moyes' contract about him got to get through more than the group stage of the Champions League, or they've got no way of sacking him currently. He sits in 5th position. Now, I know this is 9 points off Leicester at the moment, and to be honest, yeah, Tom's laughing already. But the hell, they're having their season of a life. Right? Yeah. Leicester, this last Christmas, 2014 Christmas, were bottom of the Premier League after coming up. 2015, no matter what the result is tomorrow between City and Arsenal, they're going to be top at Christmas. They're the first Premier League team to do it, and that is dream stuff. But they seem to be just marching on and on and on, and they're playing like the types of clubs like you would the top 4 or 5 that used to be United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
They've got that swagger, haven't they? They've got that swagger that we.
Exactly.
That's the thing. To be fair, lads, I think we're way off Leicester's level.
That's the point. Honestly, it's scary.
I don't think people want to hear it. Leicester are absolutely flying. They're a side in confidence. They're taking a piss. They've been absolutely unbelievable. The one thing we should be bringing up on here. Fuck Leicester. We're miles away from them. We probably won't even catch them. We're a point above Watford.
And Palace. I think Palace are level on points for this.
Yeah, Watford have only just come up.
Yeah. you either look at it as a half glass, half empty sort of debate.
Palace signed Kabay and Napardew. They've got a decent side. Balassi and Zaha. Fuck me. Watford.
Don't shout Watford too loudly. They might be Scousers. No, the Scousers won't be watching. They'll be giving them nightmares today.
I know, but I'm getting into it. It's just like you're saying, we're sitting here. We're lost for words. We didn't want to do a show yesterday because it'd be knee-jerk. But the same today. I think we'd have done exactly the same yesterday. We're sitting here just going, I don't know really what you can say. It's the same recycled shit every week. We ask the same questions and we give the same responses. And it's. I mean, if you go back onto the performance yesterday, I mean, I always keep saying it anyway, with the fact that you put players in and you go, oh, he'll do me a job here, he'll do me a job there. Chances are you're going to be bang average. And the fact that Phil Jones walks back into this Manchester United team screams volumes of you're not fucking good enough to challenge for titles. Van Gaal has made some shit decisions in the past 6 months. I don't think we can argue with him. But how the fuck's he got another contract at United, mate? It's ridiculous. Are we ever going to challenge with that clown at centre-half? You know what I mean? His mistakes yesterday were appalling. And the one thing that fucked me off yesterday is the most experienced player. Jones been here a few years now. And I mean, Wayne Rooney and Michael Carrick. I mean, I can't say any more on Rooney. I'm just wasting my breath.
I was going to say.
I mean, Redmond found himself in about 30 yards of space, and you're just thinking, "Oh, hold on, what's going on here now? Where's the midfield?" And they've lumped the ball up. I don't think you can blame Ashley Young because he's actually gone in and made a challenge. Cameron Jerome's got a bit lucky, but the baffling thing is you've got Carrick and Smalling, and even Cameron Jerome could have squared it. They could have had a tap in. Fucking Norwich at home and they could have tap in his past year. And we're offering zero threat going forward. Marouane Fellaini centre midfield, and the second goal was an absolute joke. Jones is at a path. This is the thing, possession football he's trying to play. We've got Phil Jones centre back. He had fucking Bad Stuber at Bayern Munich. God knows who he had at fucking Ajax and, you know what I mean, and Barcelona. Phil Jones, he's trying to play possession football with him and Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans is at West Brom for a reason. I went with a Blackburn fan, he wants to have Phil Jones back, mate. He's fucking dog shit. And Van Gaal, he's got to change something, mate. We can't keep playing possession football with Jones and Fellaini because we're just going to keep losing games.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, like you say, that, I mean, with the spine of that team, Van Gaal's he keeps saying every week, oh, you know, I need pace, I need pacey forwards, I need a Luis Suarez or a Neymar and stuff. But you look at the decisions he's making. He's putting Martial out wide. The spine of the team is Rooney, Carrick, and Jones, and like Phil Jones. Phil Jones spends most of the game chasing round, like trying not to get injured. Carrick, I love Carrick, but he's too slow to be a holding midfielder with Fellaini next to him. Rooney can't run anymore. Like, the spine of that team, if he's looking for pace to get in behind, he's not going to find it in those three, is he? I mean, he's got, you know, Schneiderlin's coming back from an injury, but Schneiderlin's sitting on the bench. He should be sitting in there if you're going to play Carrick and or Fellaini, but such a slow team. And Alex Neil said after the game, he said, we know United are going to be good for the first half an hour, and then we're going to break on them because they haven't got the pace. And that's exactly what they did. It's so easy to read United now. It feels like when we used to go to Arsenal. They used to attack, we used to counter and beat them. And everyone would, you know, it wouldn't be a surprise that we'd go to Arsenal and win. Because Ferguson had his tactics sorted, Wenger always played the same. Now Van Gaal's just the same as Wenger. He just plays the same tactics, hopes it works. People know. People know what to do now.
I was expecting you to come on and cheer me up. Basically, you're telling me Arsenal.
Nobody's cheering you up, Steve.
That's my worst nightmare. Every United fan's worst nightmare.
If you want to be cheered up, Steve, get back in the comment section, because everybody thinks you're a legend in there. So
I can't get up. Honestly, I can't. I've never been able to get up on you, mate. I don't know why.
Do you just put the YouTube link in and pause the video so you can see the live chat? But breaking up, right. We was talking about Rooney up top, and you said it right at the start, Steve. What the fuck is this idiot doing up top? And we mentioned about Martial being played out wide.
To be fair, I didn't say up top though. I didn't say up top. I said in the team. Not even in Oh, I'm sick to fucking death of it, mate. He come in with a philosophy, and he's put all of his eggs in a Scouse basket, mate, and it's failing. It's failing right in his fucking eyes. There's 70,000 there, mate, watching it. It's failing. You know, we can blame the system all we want on Wayne Rooney. But wait, like you said, Wayne Rooney can't even run anymore. There's no desire from him. His touch for a footballer, it's bordering on Phil Jones, mate. And I slag Phil Jones every week. Wayne Rooney's the highest paid player. What does that say to the world, to the rest of the people who work at the club, the other players, the fans? He's the man. He's got to do this. The thing that fucks you off is, I get right that the main men in football teams, you get Messi, he gets treated different to everyone at Barcelona. Rightly so. Guy's a genius. We had Eric Cantona, Ferguson treated him different to everyone else because he had to. He had to manage him. He had to say, listen, lads, you do what he does and you can do what you want as well. Cristiano Ronaldo got the same treatment. These are unbelievable football superstars. Now, Wayne Rooney gets the same treatment as what they're doing with doing fuck all on that pitch. And he's the leader. And I can say it the same every week. And the thing is, he's been out for 3 weeks. He's had Twitter rumours saying that he's an absolute pisshead and he's depressed. The one thing he should be coming out and doing is saying, I want to be the leader for this club. I want to earn me 300 grand a week. I'm not even bothered about him not scoring goals because I don't even think he's ever been prolific. But I just want him to produce something in a fucking football match. And he can't even do it against Norwich. So what chance have we got this guy still there with 3 years left on his deal to take us? We want to start fighting Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. He'll get pissed on, absolute pissed on the park. And Van Gaal needs to sort that out, mate. Because to be honest, it's a moot point anyway. We'll go on to Van Gaal now. He's gonna have to. He's gonna. If he lasts till the summer, he's got to go anyway. But is anyone going to get rid of Wayne Rooney at that club? And a lot of the others as well. Phil Jones. As long as people are still there like that, and Manu and Fellaini, it's saying to all the other. You know what I mean? It's just bang average, and you wonder why we're having bang average performances at Old Trafford and we're not in the Champions League. You know what I mean? These are probably going to have decent careers somewhere else, but people might see you being harsh. I was saying it all last season with Ashley Young's and over. I put him in that bracket, Valencia. Decent players, mate, but United should be more than decent. You can't have that many decent players in a fucking 11 and go and challenge for stuff. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, talking of someone that needs to grab the balls, Barnett. Part of Van Gaal was the man to do that. He was going to get his balls out and do stuff like that. But I was go right back to this point about Rooney being, and he ended up top because there was ball in the second half that he tried to take down in the box, and his pace is 3 yards where he should be. If we're going to play balls in like that, especially after he took Fellaini off, stick Martial up top. He can get on the end of them in the box, over the balls over the top. He can get on them. He's got pace. Stick Memphis up there. He can bring the ball down and score. But Wayne Rooney, what the fucking point is of putting it in? Can't do anything with the ball. Like you say, I've said it time and time again. His first touch is just horrendous. You might as well kick a ball at a fucking tree trunk. Just watch it bounce off. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you say 300 grand a week doesn't show any passion. I said this a couple of weeks back that he wasn't showing any passion whatsoever because he used to change refs. He used to spend 10 minutes having conversations with refs over one decision. He used to have a passion about that. And yeah, you get frustrated, hang with it, mate. Get your head back in the game. Let's play football, mate. But he showed that passion. I seen him once having a go at a linesman for a decision yesterday, and it wasn't the one that he was offside for because he was miles offside. There was United fans around me, absolutely cheering. I just stood there going like that. How the fuck did you not see he was offside? Him and Fellaini like that. Oh! I'm stood next to the. He was that close offside. He might as well have been kissing the fucking keeper against the fucking post. He was that far offside. But I think it was more of the euphoria of actually wanting to score a goal. And when we did score a goal, as scrappy as I said it was before, the whole place went fucking mental. Norwich fans who they were singing something about Mourinho. Didn't hear them at all. Apparently, they was chirping, from what I've heard. But I didn't hear them that much. Didn't bring a full allocation. I thought Dealey Smith probably cut them all some Sunday lunch or something. But he's just. This is Norwich. Why can't we beat Norwich at home? And I had a conversation with, and I know a lot of United fans that are older than me, seeing times in the 70s when we was in Division 2, close to Division 3, and times like that. And I love speaking and talking to people about that time because you get a real sort of sense of what United's class, United's pride, and what your proper United fans are about. Not today's fucking sit on their asses and shout and boo fucking the team off. Just not classy at all. I understand. Yesterday was a bit of a difference. They booed Van Gaal and the management team off the pitch. He slightly got I was watching the highlights at half-time on the concourse. He was slightly getting some applause at half-time as he walked down from the library sitters in the south stand. But the reaction was completely different by the time it came to full-time. Not a single clap you could see in the background. Loads of boos ringing around. But as soon as he disappeared into that tunnel, the players were coming over from the centre circle towards the tunnel. The booing and clapping went. And I thought, have we finally got the idea here that you're going to have to back this team that are on the pitch? Forget the manager. Back the team that are on the pitch and give them some sort of enthusiasm to go, well, in actual fact now, forget what the manager's wanting to do. We're going to play for the fans, and we're not going to play. We don't need to play for the manager, and it shouldn't be that way around. We've spent years under a manager who's been at the top of his game, who ruled the roost, and this is the whole thing that Fergie did. He knew what went on in that club. You couldn't get a fucking needle past him. He knew what was going on in that club, and it was just one of those frustrations that you go, why can't we have why can't Louis van Gaal have been that? Moyes wasn't that. Moyes got ran round by it's the same, and everyone's shouting Mourinho, 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 Mourinho. Guess what? Mourinho, and I can't remember, the fucking Sun wrote a piece or something about how he's perfect for United. He'll go in there and control the club. He'll do what Fergie did. He'll have everything on management. Hang on a minute. This report's coming out that fucking Diego Costa and Hazard have been fucking wanting him out. So hang a minute, how's he the one that's getting? If he's supposed to be the bigger man, he's supposed to be the manager controlling it. he's supposed to get shot of the players, not them get shot of him. And
I think, yeah.
I don't want to go to the Chelsea game. A second for your time. I don't want to go to the Chelsea game because we might as well get tickets for the halfway line because that's where the football's going to be played. I've not watched much of what Chelsea did in their 3-1 win, but if they play anywhere near what Mourinho was playing, we might as well park the bus at one end, park the bus at the other end, just bring them in through the tunnel, the fucking team coaches, one at each end, put the players all in the middle and watch it go fucking possession football in the fucking centre circle for fucking 90 minutes with another 0-0 draw. So, yeah. Boxing, it's a good job it's fucking not a Boxing Day fixture. Fucking God knows what that's going to be like in Stoke, but I'm going to have to be fucking shit-faced for fucking Chelsea game. I've said it to lads around me. I said, you're going to see me crawl in here and crawl fucking back out because the only way I'm going to be able to watch this fucking match.
It's just so... I'm almost lost for words. It's just... I think the problem with Van Gaal is that he came in and, you know, he's like... He loves control. He takes things... As you said, like, you know, he takes by the scruff of the neck. He's got balls, but he's such a strange character. He'll show untold amounts of patience with Rooney, despite the fact he's not doing anything, and then he'll slag James Wilson off in training because he's dribbling with the ball. When James Wilson is one of the only people in our squad that can run at the ball with any sort of pace. You know, it's the same with Januzaj, one of the only players that has got any invention on the ball, and he's not deemed, you know, either he can't pass it well enough or he's not defensive enough. And, you know, there's question marks about whether he can make it at United, but the fact is we've lent out two of our most promising youngsters to other clubs. And then Van Gaal says, oh, we don't have any pace. And it's the same with Schweinsteiger as well. I don't think Schweinsteiger's been that bad this season. I think he's been pretty good. But Van Gaal, for some reason, is saying, you know, he's not up to the level he was at Bayern. Of course he's not going to be because, you know, that was... The Schweinsteiger that Van Gaal remembers, that was 3, 4, 5 years ago. You know, this is the thing. I don't understand why he's. I don't understand.
Yeah, and next to the fact he wasn't playing next door to Fellaini.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't get why he's singling some people out, like Schweinsteiger, who are scoring, who are dragging this team through games. You know, he's contributed, whereas Rooney gets a free pass because he's captain. I thought when Van Gaal came in, right, Rooney's going to get the kick up the arse he needs. And instead it's Van Persie, you know, showing the door. And, you know, that a lot of fans might agree that that was the right thing to show Van Persie the door. But at the same time, he's got his favourites. And that doesn't work when you're demanding a certain level from players. People give up. You can see a lot of players have already given up. It's the same as with Mourinho. They're just passing the time. They're passively playing. They're not giving up in the sense of actively going for defeats, but they've given up the same way as they gave up from Mourinho. And that's got to be the end.
It's got to be the fucking... I don't understand this whole... He shot himself in the foot with the fucking whole captaincy thing with Rooney. For me, natural born one at the moment... If you've actually got some balls about changing this round in Louis van Gaal's perspective, you drop Rooney, take his captaincy off him, give it to Smalling, because he's the only one who fucking deserves it. Apart from Schweinsteiger, but obviously, and let's have somebody who will lead the fucking team from the back, and try and build upon something and play players in the right position. You've mentioned Wilson smacking and screaming for fucking Brighton and Hove Albion. Poor lad must be fucking going, what the fuck happened to my career? He scored fucking 2 in his fucking debut at Old Trafford under fucking Giggsy. Ends up at Brighton of Hove Albion, of all places. Januzaj, what's his goal record now with fucking stupid amount of games? He's fucking banging. It wasn't just him, it's Hernandez as well. They're all fucking at it.
I was just going to say, Januzaj scoring record. Fuck me. He can't get a game with him, mate. He's white.
He did it at the fucking start. He scored a couple in his first few games.
Weren't they friendly?
That would fucking matter to fucking Van Gaal's statistics book or whatever he's fucking jotting down on the fucking bench. Jesus Christ. That's another thing. He might as well have got fucking not Mike Phelan, whatever the fucking his name was, fucking Moyes' assistant.
Round.
Steve Round He might as well. Is that what's happened at United? Have we just passed that fucking tactical corner book from fucking that Everton away game onto Louis van Gaal, and that's where it's gone to pot? Has he not? Can he not play his own fucking? Well, apparently he can play his own philosophy of football, for fuck's sake. But yeah, the Moyes at Everton football that we used to see fucking years ago that got him in fucking 7th position twice off X amount of seasons. That's where this is what the whole club's gone down to. Yes, so I saw a load of people slagging Giggsy off. Bournemouth match. Go back and watch the Bournemouth match. He got up. He was clapping at players, trying to fucking attack and trying to get some fucking going on there. Spotted him on the touchline. Actually had to fucking tweet a fucking picture of him on the fucking touchline for people to fucking verify that he did so. Yesterday on the touchline, and I think someone actually said that he was telling Herrera that he'd pass the ball to the opposition, not to pass that and to do something else with it, which is fine. Like, that's how you improve a football team. Yes, he's made a bad pass. That's the mistake, pal. Do it a bit different next time. Then you get some improvement. He was on the touchline showing some fucking passion, for God's sake. Get off his back. Because one day, Ryan Giggs or Neville, even Phil Neville, and this sounds fucking odd, right?
You can't say that.
Even Phil Neville could
say that.
Even Phil Neville could do a better job here than fucking Lou Van Gaal's doing at this moment in time.
He's been learning Spanish. I like Herrera, De Gea. They'd love him. They would love him.
But like, Giggsy could be future United manager. Forget about when that is over, if it's going to be interim or whatever. At least the fucking guy's showing some passion, and I've sort of like thought, well, why the fuck has he not got off his arse all season? But maybe he's the one that's finally going, I've got to fucking do something here, or otherwise we're going down the fucking pot again this season. And it's not just fucking Van Gaal that's going to make a decision. This is going to now go up to fucking board level. And I had these discussions with the guys when we got back after the match. There's nobody in that board level, apart from Fergie and Charlton, who've got any footballing knowledge about what to do in this situation. Fucking the Glazers, the owners, don't give a shit. They all just want profit. That's all they're after. Fucking Woodward is about as useless as a fucking dormouse, constantly fucking tells the press what's going on. I'm not entirely sure if he fucking knows if he's buying the right players, doing what he's doing. He spends more time trying to get fucking felt tip deals from fucking China, sponsorship deals for fucking popcorn makers and all that sort of shite, instead of actually dealing with a fucking football club. And that's the fucking state of it, is the fact that if you actually got some footballing, some owners that actually, and boardroom that actually wanted to make a difference here, we wouldn't have got in this shit from fucking back from when Fergie retired. We'd have had all this started. And it is a prime example of this, right? Bayern know that they're losing Pep in the summer. Guess what they've done? They've gone and sorted it fucking 6 months in advance. They've gone and got Ancelotti in. That's all sorted. They're prepared for the future. United have not been prepared for the future since 2008, mate. They've absolutely not done anything since 2008. We bought Robin van Persie. He took fucking Fergie for half of the 20th title. And ever since, everyone's playing knee-jerk fucking decision-making. How the fuck Moyes ended up with the fucking job, we'll fucking never know. Some fucking idiots in the press were saying yesterday, well, none of these fucking managers were all these managers were available when United fucking put in Moyes in. Well, no, they fucking weren't. They was all fucking promised to all the clubs. And that's because people were forward thinking about it. City are going to nail fucking Guardiola. We're going to end up with Mourinho. And City are going to end up with fucking Guardiola. Why? Because they're thinking ahead already. And they have been doing for the past couple of seasons. They might be throwing fucking money, and they've got some money to throw at the idea. And it's not getting them that fucking much further than we are at the moment on the league paper, because Leicester are just fucking disappearing. That's quite fucking hilarious to see anyway. And it just shows you the fucking competitiveness at the top of the table as well as the fucking bottom, because nobody can predict a result in this league at the moment. But they're thinking about next season. They're thinking about the Champions League. They've got through to the... I'll tell you, guess what now? Fucking City will be the last fucking English club standing in the Champions League this season. And this is after us laughing at them getting beat in the group stages for the past 3 seasons. Arsenal do what they do fucking every other season. Someone said something. Fucking Piers Morgan said something about Arsenal the other day or something. He was trying to compare them with Chelsea. I was like, mate, you fucking... Arsenal is still stuck in 2001, 2002 after he won the fucking Invincibles fucking one. And they've never moved on since. And their big stumbling block is not fucking getting rid of fucking Wenger. And there fucking will be a time when they will have to fucking bother, because otherwise they're going to get fucking dropped on the same road as the Scousers are going at the moment. And before we start going on to the next managers and when the managers are going to be sacked, fucking Klopp comes in at Liverpool. Everyone thinks, woo, here we go. The Scousers fucking 20 fucking minutes later are all at it. Going to win the league, get the fucking tour bus out again. This is going to be great. They've just lost fucking 2 games on the fucking bounce. They got fucking knocked all over the park by Watford today. 3 minutes in, the fucking substitute goalkeeper's dropped one straight onto a Watford foot, 3 yards off his fucking line. Bang, here we go. And I thought, this is Liverpool we're talking about. And I know we don't want to fucking compare them with us, but they were a great club. They're going fucking backwards. Fucking Tottenham and fucking Leicester and Palace could fucking finish above them. And if we don't actually make some decisions right here and make some decent, proper decisions for the future of this club, we're going to do the same. I'm really fearing it. 2 seasons from now, we could be fucking that Liverpool side fucking fighting for 7th position yet again.
That's what we are at the moment, to be honest.
Well, that's the fucking...
One defeat and we've been taken over, by Palace and Watford, and Liverpool creeping up. You start looking at teams like Everton and Stoke, and it's not necessarily. Well, I was going to say it's not necessarily as bad as that, but it is if it's 1 or 2 more defeats. It starts looking like the league's going to be so close this season. The relegation is going to be very close between 5 or 6 teams. The title is probably going to be won by the team with the fewest points ever, and Champions League is probably going to be decided by 2 or 3 points. So, it comes down to that. It comes down to these fine margins, and we don't have a manager or a squad that is capable of getting those fine margins anymore. And that's the short of it. There's coming a time when United are going to have to decide what type of club they're going to be. I mean, the Glazers are going to have to decide what type of club they want it to be. Football's changing. There's so many managers are short term now. Look at Mourinho. Wins the title, less than 6 months later he's gone, and that's what football is now. Wenger's going to be the last of the dying breed of managers who stay at clubs for a long time, because managers are going to be even the best ones 2-3 years max, because that's all you can do now with the amount of data and stuff, the amount of tactics. There's only so much you can do with a team before it moves on. And we joke about Klopp that he's playing with Brendan Rodgers' squad and it's a fucking nightmare. But Van Gaal's had 2 summers to build this squad. This is his squad now. He's had a chance to shift out all the deadwood. He's had a chance to bring in his players. He's had bags of money. He's had loads of time to look at everyone. And this is Van Gaal's squad, and he's got to be held accountable for that.
Well, yeah, got to totally agree with that fact. Yeah, it is his squad. And he brought in the players. We were talking about this backbone of this team. Smalling, he stepped up, because otherwise we'd have been fucked Wales before there. He stepped up and he saved us this time. He brought in Schweinsteiger for the midfield. That works when he plays, when he can play fucking full games, because Van Gaal still thinks that he's playing a 40-year-old or something, and he's not good enough for this league. And up top, we've stuck fucking Captain Rooney in there instead of playing the guy who was supposed to be bought up for there. And in the middle, we talk about squad. I don't even want to know what squad fucking size we've got, because it must be fucking something less than 20. Because he shipped them all out.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly the bench is mostly youth players now. The bench is, I mean, it's an injury crisis, but the bench normally, you're expecting a name that you haven't seen since the summer when the squad numbers were released.
Yeah, but he's now going that far into the fucking youth system. We might as well be playing the fucking under-18s lot. Fucking, it's great to see the youngsters getting a fucking game, but it shouldn't be a fucking case of having to do so because we've got no fucking cover at any point of the pitch, because he's bought players that's supposed to play multiple positions instead of buying two players for every position and having 22 players there.
That's what Mourinho used to do, and he win the title basically every single season. He has 2 good players for every position. It doesn't work. It doesn't work this season at Chelsea, but Mourinho gets 2 good players for every position. And some people hate him. Some players hate him, obviously. Some fans hate him. A lot of fans hate him, but it gets results. And Van Gaal's, I love Daley Blind, but he will operate in an ideal world, in a United title-winning team. He'd probably play half the games in a dozen different positions. That's the long and short of it. And whereas there's no nailed down United defence, and we've got a lot of players like Rojo, Blind. Obviously Steve thinks differently on Jones, but Jones, he's one of those adaptable players, but he's not up to it. Obviously, he's not up to starting in the 11, is he? Obviously, but we've got a lot of those players who are just shuttled into positions, and it's not working. We've just got like you're saying before, we've just got an average squad. We've hardly got any top class players. But the problem is, even if we looked for top class players, there's all the there's the releases from Woodward, obviously leaking stuff, saying we want to sign Neymar, we want to sign Messi, we want to sign Suarez or Ronaldo, that caliber of player. If you drop Neymar into United's squad tomorrow, I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to beat 6 players on his own every single time he gets the ball? If we sign one of those world-class players, what are they going to do? They're just going to be playing with an average squad. We need a total rethink of the squad rather than looking at this stupid Galactico policy. I'd love Gareth Bale up front. What he's doing for Real Madrid at the moment. He scored 4 today, but that's because he's playing in a world-class squad. Buying someone like Neymar isn't going to help us at the moment because we'll just stick him on the wing. You just do the same as what he did with Marshall. Just stick him on the wing, tell him to cross the ball in.
Do what he did with fucking Di Maria.
Yeah.
Stick him on the opposite wing that he needs to be on, and fucking becomes.
Yeah. These talented players. I mean, turn up every week. You're looking behind you and you're playing with Carrick and Rooney, looking to run onto the passes. I mean, what are you going to do? If that was Messi, he's trying to play, intricate 1-2s, and it's one good player is not going to solve our problems. We need a new manager, and we need 4 or 5 new players.
Well, I was going to come on to new manager systems. Fucking hold your horses and ask Steve this question. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Hope everyone's got enough popcorn by now. Right, Steve. On this note, do we sack him now, or do we wait till the summer and call? Like someone said to me, we call this season right off right now. And when you look at the teams around us, we might be alright. We might as well be, because we might fucking be joining fucking Chelsea in a fucking mid-table battle by the end of the season. I was looking fucking positive fucking 2 weeks ago because we was only fucking couple points off the top and trying to get somewhere near the top 2 in towards Christmas. It fucking looks like we've gone completely backwards on that one. So yeah, in your point, I know you've been quite vocal about the not wanting Mourinho, but Ancelotti's disappeared off the fucking wish list. Guardiola. In actual fact, I saw an interview today with someone off Sky Sports or something that said, don't rule out the idea of him going to United because he makes his fucking mind up fucking 20 times a day. Somebody said it in the comments that he's like that, so that could fucking happen. But what would your next step be at this stage?
Well, the last 20 minutes I've listened in, and you've depressed me more than than I can ever imagine on here. I fully
I
agree.
I was about to say, depressed more the Wayne Rooney, but that those rumours were fake by all accounts.
Well, I reckon there's substance in it, mate, because, I mean, in a crack and a smile, is he the boy? And I would be on 300k a week. Well, I was listening to your points here, and I think you've put it bang on, and I think, in fairness, mate, to United sort of waited till, well, it was too late under Moyes. They waited till mathematically we couldn't do anything with the season. I think they sacked him on early April. The season was over. I could have told the board on the end of February when we lost to Stoke. I think we were 10 points behind fourth. I could have told them fourth was gone then, and they could have fucked him off. But that's the thing. Have United learnt from that, and they're going to look at Van Gaal and just say this is going one way down. You've got to go, pal. At a minute, I've always said sacking a manager mid-season would be ridiculous, mate. But to be fair, we've only been in this position once with Moyes, and it was just sort of, well, we've got to get used to mediocrity now. Ferguson's gone, give him a chance. And to be fair, Moyes only had 6 months in the job. This guy's had 18 months. He sold some of the best players and said trust him. You know what I mean? He sold Di Maria, he sold Van Persie. He hasn't replaced them. And you're just scratching your head going, where can he go from here? And I mean, fourth. I said United have gone off to finish fourth, but United can't keep performing like that. And finish. I mean, we're aiming for fourth again. For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? That's how bad it's got. You know what? Yeah, fuck him off. I have been vocal on Mourinho, mate. I said, for me, he isn't a Manchester United manager. It's the same when you look at a player and you go, he's a Man United player. Sometimes you can't just put your finger on it. They've got that X factor. Now Mourinho wins your titles. I've never not said anything of the. He's been successful everywhere he has been, and he will do wherever he goes. That he will win your stuff. But it's the way he goes about it for me that I've always said is not United. But to be honest, at the minute, with what I've seen in 2.5 years, none of this is United. And the only thing I'd say with Mourinho is, like you said earlier, Ancelotti's already agreed to go to Bayern. Guardiola, if you were a betting man, he's gone to City. So City are going to go one way with Guardiola, and I think they're already ahead of us anyway. I mean, yeah, they have bad results, and Man United have bad results, but I think they'll finish above us again. So they're the better side. And like you say, they're going to go one way with Guardiola. Where are we going to go with Van Gaal, or if Van Gaal goes and Giggs? I always said I had no problem with Giggs getting the job, but it meant Louis Van Gaal doing his job in the 2 or 3 years he had to do it well enough to leave Giggs that sort of Guardiola what he had at Barcelona. You leave him with a quality setup, like you say, 2 players for every position, some world-class players let it in there. It's an exciting side, and someone like Giggs could take that on. Like I say, I thought it was pretty easy for Guardiola, because that Barcelona side just kept winning and winning and winning, and he goes and takes Bayern. The only thing is, I mean, you look at City, they're going to have Guardiola, you'd imagine, and the only one who is going to get United to that sort of level, because he frustrates him, is Jose Mourinho. I mean, I personally don't want Jose Mourinho, but the position we're in, mate, it's only getting worse. I can't stand his football. I can't stand the way he acts. Like I say, I don't think he's a Man United manager. He isn't a long-term option. But like you lads were saying there, maybe I'm just too romantic at United. Maybe I'm expecting too much. You just don't know if it's a short-term option. Get the Portuguese fucking prick in, boy. Like I say, my first choice was always Carlo Ancelotti. He's a United manager. He wins stuff. Actually, when you watch him in a press conference, he looks a decent guy. I think he handles everything just absolutely brilliantly. And football, he's already done it. I thought that Chelsea side he had, it was a good side. I mean, it wasn't that one that Mourinho had, but on the slide, you sort of watching one match. They were fucking putting teams to death, man. I know they only won the title by a point, but he won the double. You know what I mean? At Chelsea, and chances are, if you pick Fergie to a title, yeah, I think you're a decent manager, mate. And yeah, like you said, the fact that Bayern Munich are running their team like that, they're getting world-class managers in 6 months in advance. We had 4 or 5 months that knew that Sir Alex was going, and we ended up with David Moyes. I know, like you said, everyone just thinks that we chose David Moyes over every manager. It wasn't the case, I think even Guardiola bottled it, because Ferguson wanted him first. He said, nah, fuck that, mate. He claimed he couldn't understand Scottish, all right. And then you've got Klopp was at Dortmund, who else was on the list? Carlo had been promised Real Madrid. And the thing is now, if you sat Van Gaal, and last time, like you say, we were left with Moyes, Mourinho's out there. I mean, I can't stand the bloke. I really can't. Like I say, I don't think he's foot. But saying that, Van Gaal's football shit. So it's just, the thing is, it's 2.5 years now of shite, and United are in no better position. The Moyes was garbage, mate, and he'd lost players early on. But Van Gaal, like last season, we got 4th in the end, and it was, I can't wait for the summer. There was the hype. He sort of scraped 4th, and it was there's stage 1 done, stage 2. And if you're looking at the performance on Saturday, you're thinking, a year ago, I thought we were probably better. I'm all right for taking 1 step back and 2 steps forward. That's what United was saying they were going to do. But how many times are we going to keep fucking doing it? They must be exhausted doing it in the boardroom. Fuck me. How long is these transitions going to go on for? And another thing is, even fans will go, get Mourinho in now, and Mourinho's going to win you the league. Fucking hell. If he does, he wants a statue. I tell you. Now, the one thing Mourinho is, Gordon, I think even Dale said it the other day, is his man management's absolutely superb. Mourinho's that sort of manager where he'll get some of our better players, and he'll put his arm around them and say, I think you this good. And football's a confidence game. Van Gaal can sit in that fucking office on a Friday with all these DVDs they keep showing the players, these 4 hours meetings on tactics and the opposition. I'm not being funny, the opposition, Norwich. And for our United are spending 100, 200 million quid a year in wages to our players, and they can't work out how to beat Norwich. You know what I mean? They're wasting time there. Like you saying, get them on the field and get whipping crosses in. Or even tell Wayne to control the ball. They're just wasting time with all this nonsense. Football's a confidence game. Always has been. Always will be. You tell someone they're amazing. You tell someone that they're one of the best in the world, even if you don't believe it. Lie to them. Who gives a fuck?
Dude, Fergie was the fucking king of that.
Yeah.
He never ever slagged any fucking...
Exactly. Sir Alex would say to Cleverly, I think you're one of the most naturally talented players since Zidane. Honestly, you're absolutely amazing. Swivel. That volley you can do, Tom, it's absolutely superb.
It is until you fucking watch it go into tier 2 of the Stretford end, and then you go, for fuck's sake, he should have been playing rugby league, mate. Unless he's passing it backwards, for fuck's sake, he was loving doing that. He'd have been perfect for a Van Gaal team, backwards and sideways.
He would have thrived. He'd be playing every week instead of Schweinsteiger.
He's getting more fucking game time at fucking Everton now. I'm going to cut fucking Steve's rant off there.
How comes Laurent Blanc doesn't get mentioned as well, mate, to be fair? I know people say it's either Giggs. I think Guardiola's gone to City. Mourinho's obviously going to be thinking, because apparently he's wanted the job for ages, and United turned him on last time. I just wondered why Laurent Blanc doesn't get a mention.
That's a great shout. Like, Ferguson loved him, didn't he? Ferguson, that's partially why he came to United, because he valued him so much for his football intelligence. And he was basically, from all the accounts, like from people in the know, they said that Laurent Blanc was practically like his assistant, like on the training pitch. He'd swam around with Ferguson. They'd be discussing tactics. They'd be talking about opponents. So, Ferguson obviously valued him there. That's a great shout.
It was just a shame, really. We had him 10 years too late. Fergie panicked, I think, when he sold Jaap Stam.
Yeah.
And it was like, Laurent Blanc was a bit classy. Yeah, we probably had him 10 years too late, but I think we had Henrik. I said that with Henrik Larsson. Oh, fucking hell, what we had him for? He's 39.
He forgot his
top draw.
Well, didn't he?
Yeah, Laurent Blanc just struggled with speed, but like I say, he gets United, and I think he's had a decent career as well. He'd be a shout for go forward, but I think Mourinho's going to be the one on everyone's lips because fans are desperate for a title, mate. We're not winning fuck all this year, so there's 3 years.
You could see Mourinho. You could see Laurent Blanc. I mean, he's won. They're 20 points. Like, they're 19 points ahead today now. They're 19 points ahead, and it's not even Christmas.
Well, this is the French league. Let's not blow ourselves away. This is PSG.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying. Oh, he's won.
They could run up with that.
Yeah,
they're going to run off with that constantly.
He's won 5 league uns, and he's won 5 fucking Coupe de League or whatever they fucking called out there. But I think even in the Champions League, that's where you test yourself really against other managers and other sides. And I think Laurent Blanc did well against even Mourinho last year, and he's assembled a good side there as well.
Yeah,
like you say, apparently knows a player attacking, and I wonder if he'd be a shout if Van Gaal does get the ball in the next week or so. But to be honest, at the minute, we don't. You never like saying it, but why the fuck would Laurent Blanc leave PSG? Who I think it'd be an outside bet to even win the Champions League this year. I think they'll turn Chelsea over.
Yeah.
I think they've been closer in the last few years. They do play some exciting stuff, and I think Angel Di Maria will score an hat-trick in the final just to piss us off. But like as an outside bet, why is he going to leave there to come to United, who are just in complete disarray? And that's the thing. We sat Van Gaal. We've only got to go after Mourinho, because I'm not against Giggs getting a Man United job. It's just at the state that is in now. What's he going to do with half them players?
Well, he'd probably give them some fucking confidence, to be honest. We just talked about the confidence game, and it is a fucking huge one. He probably would fucking put his arm around half those players. And as much as fucking he's got to be matesy with fucking Carrick and fucking Rooney, he'd probably have the fucking balls to go, and Andrew, guys, you're not fucking up to this. Let's get this back to fucking some basics. He'll have fucking Wilson back from fucking Brighton and Hove Albion within fucking 10 minutes of him getting the job. He'd stick Pereira in, possibly. We'd stop playing these fucking 2 holding midfielders. I had a discussion on Friday on the Twitter account for fucking about half the fucking afternoon about this stupid fucking 2 holding midfielders, which, guess what? We played the fucking 2 holding midfielders, against Norwich, and none of them defended the fucking counter-attack, so what's the point of having it? Throw that out the fucking window. Going back
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying on Giggsy, mate. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's his job anyway. He's assistant manager.
But yeah,
18 months coaching on the side. Like Van Gaal isn't going to be there all the time, so Giggs will be saying, "Listen, I can see what you can do. You do this, you do that." He's got to be there to give him confidence. I think just from the stuff you hear, what other ex-players say about Jose Mourinho, the way he goes about it, they believe it. Whether they believe it from Giggs, I don't know. I mean, if Giggs had told me, "Oh, Steve, I think you've got a fucking wand of a right foot," and that, he'd be going around, walking around like that all the time, you know what I mean? But some of these player power's absolutely crazy now, mate. You saw it at Chelsea. They downed tools for the best manager they've ever had, because, I mean, they didn't have an history anyway for about 15 years, you know what I mean, prior to what they have now. And it just seems to be seamless. It's like, even if another manager comes in, these players, mate, even the ones who we brought in who know the philosophy, and even the senior players, they down tools under David Moyes. And I think a lot of it's still hiding behind Louis van Gaal, and it's fucking wrong, mate. And if that's getting into one of the biggest clubs in the world at United, the game's only going in one way. You know what I mean? I'm not saying all of them are down in tools, but you only need a couple, mate, in the dressing room, and it's fucked.
There was only a fucking couple fucking under Moisey, and then that turned into 4, and then pretty much they all gave up on the fucking idiot. But yeah, I'm going to go over to Tom. In actual fact, I want to pick up on something you said before, Steve, about these 4-hour tactics drills. I heard a story that I can't remember where it came from, but it was a story about these 4-hour tactics drills, and he was talking about playing this full 2-2-2 system. Where I've never seen it. It's never been on the pitch, because we've never had 2 fucking players up the top of the pitch all fucking season. And in actual fact, and I mentioned this previous, fucking the teams like Leicester and a couple of the other teams have took this fucking playing one up top and gone, You know, let's get back to fucking playing two up top. And it fucking works for them. Marquez and fucking Vardy are running off with a fucking everything. I don't know where fucking Martial got his golden fucking, what the fuck it was, ball boy fucking yesterday. Not entirely sure where that fucking came from. Apart from possibly, whatever the fuck he was called. He possibly got that just for scoring against Liverpool, which, to be honest, that might have been the only thing. But if you put him up there with Memphis or Herrera, someone just stuck fucking two up there, but then we might get somewhere. But he put two. This was the story about this 4-2-2-2. The United players would spend more time laughing at the fact that it looked like a penis-shaped fucking tactic, because it's like 4-2-2-2-2 up the pitch. They spend more time laughing at that than actually fucking paying attention. And I'm not entirely sure where that story came from. I don't remember where I fucking heard it. But if that's the point, if that's the case, that there's players in that dressing room now spending that much time laughing at the tactics of Louis van Gaal who's trying to teach them fucking football, then surely that's going to be a starting point for him on the fucking blocks.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the question to you, Tom, we've heard about Blanc, Mourinho. Clearly, fucking Ferguson would love him because he banged on about him a few months ago when he did some sort of university talk, or I think it might have been actual fact over in Dublin. He did a talk and he was asked about him, best manager in the league. I think that, you know, I think he would love him. I've got the same sort of concerns as Steve about Mourinho. He's a short-term manager. He only gets about a lifeline of about 3 years. Is he going to actually be able to turn this club round in those times, apart from possibly winning the title in the third season? That's what fucking Louis van Gaal was supposed to be brought in to do in this game. I'm not entirely sure where that, you know, comes into play. For me, Mourinho loves to spend big. Yes, he gets those two quality players in each position, which we're dying to see, instead of this depleted squad that we seem to be playing at the moment. But there's no youth, there's no, you know, you might as well. He gave away Kevin De Bruyne. He gave away Kevin De Bruyne 2 seasons back, and look where he is now, 2 or 3 seasons back. So that's another frustrating thing. Either someone's got to go men's, possibly fucking Ferguson and Bobby Charlton have got to go and meet him and go, right, if you're going to take this job on, this is not an interim thing and it's not a fucking 2-year, 4-year project. This is going to be a project, and you've got to fucking bring the whole idea of being a Manchester United manager, fuck the fucking Park the Bus football off, and respect the fact that we've got some quality youth players in this club, and they will continue to do that and build teams over time and time again. And I know we're being romantic, and Steve said it before about being romantic, but that's how clubs are going to be successful. Somebody disagreed with me yesterday about this, well, look at Real Madrid, they sack managers every other season and so, but they're successful in a fucking league where they're basically just them and Real and Barcelona, and they've only won 2 trophies in the past, like 4 seasons. One was a Copa del Rey, one was the fucking league. 3. They won the Champions League in 13-14. So yeah, they're winning trophies. Good on them. But they've got a quality squad. They constantly update their squad, no matter who the fucking manager is. It's probably the board that spend most of their time actually continuously rotating all these quality players in the team. Fucking Perez or whatever he's called at fucking Real Madrid probably does more fucking work on transfers than fucking any manager at the club.
It's his club, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's his club.
He's made it so hard to become voted president that it's basically his own little kingdom.
Well, yeah, but it works quite well for Madrid. I don't think you've got anyone with the balls, anyone at the fucking footballing knowledge at United. Like I said, the Glazers fucking sooner get rid of them and get some actual people that are interested in football into the club, the fucking better. And I just don't see any sort of future at the moment. Going off Mourinho and Blanc, is there any other manager you could see, Tom, that could come into this club? And I'm going to put that in the comments, see if anybody else comes up with any decent suggestions as well.
Get Fergie back for 6 months, why not?
Somebody shouted this at me, and it would be the worst thing ever. Because honestly, leave fucking Fergie's reputation as it is, his history as it is, because who was it that came back the other year? Dalglish, that's fucking thingy. He came back and did absolutely balls all. Now people will forget about that. They'll remember what he did during his first stint at the club. But Fergie's not going to be. He's got to probably fucking round the troops up, do what Giggs should actually fucking do if you put him in charge. But I just don't see it. And his last 2 years at fucking last few years at the club, he did nothing to set us up with another quality squad that could go and turn the lead. He left everyone that was fucking old at the time. He brought in Deadwood. He gave fucking cleverly fucking centre midfield fucking role. He did nothing, you know. Johnny Evans played fucking God knows how many times under him. Fucking guy can't play fucking Sunday League for me. And so, I just don't want it. I'm sorry, it sounds romantic. As much as I'd like to see it, I just don't think it's the right idea.
I agree. I think we'll leave Fergie to his, his conventions and his, his little chats on stage at the moment and selling his
winery and whatever else he's trying to make some money on, horse racing, because that went well for him.
Like you say, I agree with Steve. I think Laurent Blanc would be a really good bet because he's hungry. When I was talking about PSG before and the fact they're 19 points ahead, I wasn't saying necessarily it's just because League One's such an easy league. It is, but I meant more of the fact that he's done all he can at PSG. Apart from win the Champions League, if he does that this season, he'll be off. Even if he doesn't win it this season, he'll probably be off because, if he wants to test himself at the top, then, that United is a job. He's been at the club before. He's got some ties at the club, and Fergie loves him. So the board would back him. The board would back him with money. It'd offer him the romance of another big club. He could leave his imprint on the squad. PSG, even all the money he's got, he's bringing through youngsters like I think it's Baerbeck, the young striker. He's bringing young players through when he's got people like Zlatan who could play every week. He could let them stroll around the pitch like Rooney, but he brings youngsters through in a squad, in that type of squad. So, and he can attract top players as well. They've got so many good Brazilians there, so many top French kids that they've brought back as well. And he would be a great draw. He's got pedigree in Europe. People respect Blanc's opinion, and he's a great manager as well. You don't see many people fall out with Laurent Blanc. So, yeah, I agree with Steve. I think Laurent Blanc would be a top shout for manager.
So it's really surprising you talk about man management there and Laurent Blanc. Zlatan Ibrahimovic won't come to United because of fucking Louis van Gaal. So, I'd rather fucking have him up front than fucking Rooney. But other suggestions were coming in before Sam's commented with Blanc was a good shout. Juve fella Conte.
Conte. He's at Italy at the moment.
It was another suggestion. He said then whoever comes in, Gary or Keane in the dugout as well. Some passion and balls to shout at players and tell them how it is. Sort of on the same lines as I was talking about. Hopefully, fucking Giggs would step up too, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Someone suggesting Keane, but is obviously bitter towards Fergie still, so I'm not entirely sure. The other suggestion that was coming in through this on the chat was Sparky, who's not doing.
I've seen this the past couple of days, mate. Like, don't get me wrong, Sparky, fucking hell, he's a United great, like, mate, but he's doing well with Stoke. I mean, like I know a load of Stoke fans, and they probably didn't want him to start off with. He'd completely changed the way they were doing. They wanted him out, but it's worked. But if people forget, Sparky had unlimited funds at City, mate, and he was buying Joe for 30 fucking million and Roque Santa Cruz. You know what I mean? And City aren't a massive club. I always say that the same when players join United, and like players like Fellaini and Young, I always say they don't make that step up to be that top quality player what you need to be at a club like United and survive and be loved. And managerial wise, I haven't seen anything in Mark Hughes to say they could come in here, because at the end of the day, he could probably do a job and get United fourth. I'm not saying Sparky won't, but we don't want to be fourth. We want to win the league in the next 2 or 3 years and get back to Champions League final, boys. Sparky ain't going to do that. He's doing well at Stoke. Sunday I'll probably have egg on my face. He's probably going to spank us 4-0. But I don't think he's a United manager. If you want, I think Mike Bassett could get us fourth, mate, in a minute. Fucking hell. He'd have beat Norwich on Saturday. He managed them in that film. Won the Mr. Clutch Cup.
You go 4-4-2 and we win. Just 4-4-2. Bang it up, 4-4-2. Yeah. How hard is that?
The 4-2-3-1's going, we'll be playing 4-4.
Well, someone suggested that in their fucking comments earlier. Get fucking 4-4-2 back.
Get it back,
hey, fucking, it happened. It was.
The Leicester are doing it, and they're fine, aren't they?
Exactly, I said 2 up top.
Yeah.
Even Watford are playing 4-4-2. Yeah.
Nagalo every game now. Fantastic.
I hope it does make a comeback, because United were one of the best 4-4-2 sides going.
Yeah. Need to buy some wingers and strikers before that.
We buy them, but we never fucking use them. We bought Angel Di Maria, man of the match in the Champions League final. Van Gaal wanted him flick off fucking long balls off Fellaini, or play him right back versus Sunderland. You know what I mean? Then he goes on, oh, we need space and speed and creativity. You had it, you fucking dick. And you threw him out, yeah.
Sold him or loaned him. For
fuck's sake, yeah. Well, I've always had differing views on Januzaj, to be fair, but James Wilson I agree with. James Wilson, when we loaned him out, I was sitting there, you've got to be kidding me. He hasn't even been playing him. And even when Rooney and Martial were out, he put Memphis up top against Watford. Fair play, Memphis played well, one of his better games. Took his goal well. Luke Lively's done fuck all since, but James Wilson, I think, could have probably done a similar job up there. But they say he's probably too attacking for him. She doesn't like him.
Yeah. He doesn't trust players he can't. He doesn't trust players he can't contain, and that's the whole problem. That's the paradox. You can't contain players like Di Maria. They give the ball away. They're fucking infuriating half the time, but they will do something that will turn the game. And Van Gaal doesn't like players that he can't trust to do what he asks, and that's why we've got such a slow team. The players can't run.
I'd love it if Di Maria could have actually spoke English straight away, because if I was Di Maria on the training pitch and Van Gaal's come over and he's dropped his kegs and he'll say, "I'll drop you. I've got these balls and that. You keep giving the ball away." I just thought, hold on a minute, mate. The geezer you've made captain's one of the worst for it. He's fucking wank. So what are you having to go at me for? You paid 60 million for me, you prick. You know what I mean? It's
I want to show him a little bit of love. I want to show someone. Like, that's the thing I like. Di Maria I think it was either the round of 16 or the quarterfinal where he scored that unbelievable goal in extra time. But the stat, I know you said you don't like stats, but after the game, it showed Di Maria in that game gave the ball away 49 times.
I know, I saw that, mate. Yeah,
he gave the ball away 49 times. What the fuck's he doing with the ball? That's the thing. But the manager,
it's the opposition by all accounts.
Yeah, the manager trusted him, and he trusted him because he knows the crowd are getting on Di Maria's back. You know, he is having a shit game, but he's got that talent that he can change the game in one moment. And that's what he did. That's the type of trust you've got to give to players like that. And Van Gaal can't give that. That's why people like Di Maria, that's why Memphis struggles at the moment. That's why those players look so out of sorts, because he's obviously saying to them, you can't do what you're doing, otherwise you'll get dropped. And then if they try it, they get dropped. That's why the players aren't taking a chance, because they know if they try and play their natural game, they're going to get dropped.
Well, surprisingly, I've been a fucking advocate of fucking Jesse Lingard, because he's the only one that has actually done that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly not been dropped. I did put him in my fucking starting 11 on Friday, not realising he was fucking injured. I just assumed he got dropped because he fucking decided he was going to run at some players and lost the ball.
Yeah.
But he's done that. Is he the only one that's been allowed to? But
it's because he runs backwards as well. It's because he does his defensive work.
No, it's true, because I've seen Memphis getting backwards. He might as well moonwalk because he's going back that fucking slowly. If you're not going to fucking put the effort in going fucking forwards, especially when you've not beat your man on the edge of the penalty box, you've got it took off you yet again. If you're not going to fucking track back, then I'm sorry, but just not going to start again. Just not. It's not just not fucking good enough. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap up, because otherwise we're going to be into another fucking hour before we fucking get off anywhere else. And people are going to trying to watch this next fucking tomorrow or whatever and gone, I can't watch fucking another hour and 20 minutes of these guys talking the exact same roundabouts that we've been going. Fucking, you mentioned at the start, we're just going round and round and round and round and round and round and round again. Because that's what all we're fucking doing. But yeah, it's been about fucking 60 people watching us, which is great to have those sort of guys watch us constantly throughout. There's some lovely people who constantly comment. Guys, if you've liked what we do, before you leave and close us down, give the video a like, because it really does help us. Give us a subscribe, because Dale's got some lovely Happy Mondays content he's going to put up eventually, and that might brighten up some fucking days. Thanks to Steve, who I hope we've not run out of popcorn before he finished ranting. Cheers to Tom, who's I think Tom actually keeps us slightly sane on here, because otherwise, if Pasha and fucking Nate would have been available to come on, I think we'd have just spent like 3 hours just ranting completely. So at least there's been some sort of level ground.
Otherwise, I just start screaming. You know, it's one of the. Well,
I was going around yesterday going, if we don't fucking laugh or cry, but that was Bournemouth game. Yesterday, I just wanted to fucking cry. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. On a happy note, the fucking Scousers lost again. I think that's the only fucking positive I'm going to take out this weekend. And we'll be back during midweek to preview the Stoke game. Try and get Steve on, because he loves Stoke, apparently. And he reckons we're going to get fucking absolutely jammed up the arse, sideways by Sparky's quality fucking Stoke team. And it's fucking Boxing Day could just turn into a massive piss up for not the ones going, but everybody else on the fucking planet for that point. But yeah, cheers guys for the comments. Get your comments in below as well, guys. Give it a good subscribe. Yeah, and I'm going to start off as a fucking do. I might as well turn that fucking light off, because Lou Van Haal's time's the same thing. But yeah, see you later, guys.